Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, everybody, to the 110 Nation Sports Show. I am your host, Mr. C.J. Sports. Glad to be back in the Carolina Sports Plus studio. We got a lot of things to jump into tonight. College football debuted last weekend. NFL debuts this weekend. Had Josh Dickens on Monday night show. The 110 Nation Race Chat Live exclusive. We got Safety to Success tomorrow night, Thursday night, for those that want to catch another good race show. So we've got a lot of things going on here. But before we jump into our topics of the night, let's go ahead and get my co-host Mario in here. Mario, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be on the show on this Wednesday night, live from the fair.
Let the listeners know what fair you're calling from.
Okay, I'm currently in the Cumberland County Fair in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So we've been here since the 1st, and we'll be here all the way through the 10th.
Where's the Cumberland County? Is that down there at the Crown Coliseum?
Yep, right by the Crown Coliseum.
Okay. Gotcha. Anybody out there in the Fayetteville, North Carolina area, make sure you guys go down there to the Cumberland County Fair. Check out Mario, Carolina Sports Plus. Don't forget, you guys, to check our website out, www.the110nationsportsradionetwork.com. For all the latest going on here at the 110 Nation. Show schedules, shows, videos, blogs, you name it. Also, there's tabs to all the different platforms that our show's on. You can catch a tab over to iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube Radio, Amazon, Books and Audible, or Music and Audible. You guys pretty much name it, we're there. Make sure you guys go check that out. Follow us on those platforms to help us continue growing. Oh, football season's finally gotten here, Mario. Did you get to catch any football this last weekend?
Oh, yes, I did. I currently had to put a TV in the booth, so we got some cable, we got some live games going on. I was fortunate enough to see the Colorado game against TCU, so that was a great weekend to start off football with.
I'm glad you went there first.
Yeah.
I caught probably half the game. Matter of fact, a little bit more than half the game, as I was in the house waiting for them to deliver the new oven. So I had the game on and got sucked into it. A great game. As the Colorado Buffaloes did their thing. But yeah, there's been a lot of big deal made about this, Mario. Buffalo, the Colorado Buffaloes beat TCU. Last year's runner-up, the national title, TCU. Deion Sanders' debut, beating TCU. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Mario.
Yeah. All right.
as great as it was to see Coach Sanders win his first game over Colorado, as great as it's to see the things that he has done to change that program, change the Jackson State program.
Yeah.
Are we blowing this out of proportion just maybe a smidge?
No. Not whatsoever. You know what I mean? Just the process of the criticism that he took, because he did take some, you know, even from leaving Jackson State and then going to Colorado, a one-win team last year. You understand what I'm saying? And they got him only winning 3 games this year. So I can honestly say that the first game of the year is always a big game, no matter what type of school it is. Your first game is your first game, and you can only play who's your opponent. But I would be happy with my first game W anytime.
I just feel that this first win is kind of blown out of proportion. Like the key points of everybody's conversation here is, well, TCU was runner-up in last year's national title game.
Yeah.
They're not this year's runner-up. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't at no point felt that they were deserving of the runner-up spot they got last year. There was much better teams that should have been in that spot in that national title game against Georgia, but that's here nor there. You're talking a middle of the pack ranked, 17th ranked team this year currently as is what Colorado quote unquote upset. My other concern with this was this a all-in kind of game? Like, was everybody all in because this was Coach Sanders' debut at Colorado?
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I mean, even like that part, I understand. I totally understand all that. But if you go back, if you want to go back to just the school counselor trying to hire Prime, Coach Sanders, and didn't even have the money, you know what I mean? So obviously there had to be some belief in what he can do for his school when nobody else did, because nobody else didn't sign him, nobody else didn't do it. But as far as we can only go off the first game. And the first game in any season that you play, if the Panthers win Sunday, will that game be a big game? Yes, that'll be a big game, because every game is a big game when you can't afford to lose not one or two games.
Two things a little bit different to me about it, though. One, it's hard to compare NFL and NCAA because every win matters when you're basing off rankings versus the Panthers could go 7-10 or even 8-9 and still make the playoffs and make it to the Super Bowl. You're not doing that with multiple losses. You're not making you're making it to the playoffs and into a national title. But anyway, that's here nor that's a little petty argument sake. The other thing is, how many games does Colorado got to win to solidify this win? In other words, let's say Colorado only wins one more the rest of the year. Do we still solidify that first win? That the odds are everybody was all in to win, to put their best foot forward. You had the whole entire offseason to prepare for this one game. Now let's moving forward. How are you going to prepare for the rest of the games?
Do you honestly think? Do you honestly think they're only gonna win the first game out the rest of the season?
They're only projected to win 3 games. Let's say they win all 3 games. Let's say let's just say the experts get it right. They win 3 games. Do we still make a bigger deal out of this game? Make a big deal out of this game when you only win what you're projected to win. Just maybe you won one where you shouldn't have won it and lost one you probably shouldn't have lost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree with that part, but it all comes back to is just week by week. They may lose this week to Nebraska, so we can only go by what happened this week. And what this week done, it has really put Colorado and what Prime has been backing up That's the only thing we can go by. Now, if he comes back against Nebraska and gets blown out, everybody's going to be on the other end talking about how they got blown out. But right now, we can only talk about how they won.
I just feel that people have rushed a little too quick to get on this whole bandwagon here. Like, I'm not taking nothing away from the win. Great win for the program. I hope he does turn things around, or things are turned around. But it just seems like there's been a lot put on this win that is just one win, a win that you had more time prepared for than any other game, any other team, that you have a chance to be all in, not focused on anything else, to completely game plan for. So I'm curious to see how the rest of the weeks play out for you.
Bad? Yeah, but like I said, we can only go. Like, I understand. Thank you, sir. I got you. You going out? There you go. You have a great day.
A couple of the other top games that we had. Obviously, Georgia won their game. USC won their game over San Jose State. I believe that was earlier in the weekend, 56-28. Other top-ranked teams that did pull off their wins, we were kind of whether or not Utah was going to beat Florida, because that's still a Florida team. But Utah did win 24-11. Other ones that stick out rank-wise, Oklahoma. This is why I hate these gimme games, 73-0. I don't know which is worse, watching my team lose, or I guess watching my team would be worse, but it's just almost just as bad watching my team win 73-0. There's no enjoyment in that for me.
Oh yeah,
Michigan under no Harbaugh, 30-3 over East Carolina.
I got one question for you.
Yes.
You think in Clemson their time is over with? The coach in Clemson? What you think about Clemson?
I think we're on the back end of that. I think they had a system, whether or not it was completely legit or not, because it's been exposed a couple times, just not to the fullest that there's been a full investigation. But I think that their system was exposed enough that they can't use how they were winning their games or what gave them an unfair advantage. And I don't think it's appealing to go to Clemson. There's nothing appealing to me, and it's nothing wrong, nothing against it. And I spent bouncing probably a good 5-8 years, I can't remember the years, in Chapel Hill. Basketball program, if I was an athlete, this is where I'd want to be. But football program, there's really no desire to be out in the ACC. I mean, outside of Clemson, you don't have nobody, and it's unless you run your schedule and run the system that Clemson ran and had the run that they have, you're not going for national titles or winning a national title, because your strength of schedule and your opponents are not strong enough. You have to be on this miraculous run with a little bit of help in order to have that opportunity that Trevor Lawrence and coach and all them had. I think this runs. I think it's going to be a dry run for a while.
How you doing, sir? Yeah, I agree. We definitely agree with that. You think Florida State can do something after beating LSU?
I don't know. I'd have to see more out of both of these. That's another one. I think the ranking and name carried that ranking more so what we were necessarily going to see this season. And so, what was your thoughts? I mean, you kind of called it, that whole Duke over Clemson. I don't think he was ready to say Duke, but the part of you wanted to at least say Duke.
Sure did. There's a lot. I told you there's a lot of big buzz. That, of course, everybody else knows that I'm a Tar Heel fan, of course, but there's been some buzz around here with Duke. There's been some buzz around here in North Carolina about what Duke's going to do in the ACC, even comparing to UNC. So seeing them beat Clemson on prime time, it was something to look at. But I feel like Clemson days are over with if they don't have an elite quarterback with Lawrence and Watson. You know, like you said, there's things that got figured out. They can't do that read option, that option play as far as and then bubble screen. You know, they're hooked on that. I think they don't have the personnel like they did as far as with the wide receivers that they had. So, but I think time is up in Clemson.
I don't have to get it. We install them too, though.
But we got to see. We got to see what Duke can do. We got to see more. Like you said, we still have to see more. But we can only judge what games have been played and who's playing us. You understand what I'm saying? So Duke did win, and we'll just take it at that.
Good. Y'all seen it before, right?
We're going to look at some Week 2 matchups.
All right.
We're going to look at our top 10, where we're going to do our top 9, and then plus UNC, since UNC is not in the top 10, to give our picks. And we can go ahead, since I pulled up already UNC. Our 10th, that would be our 10th spot pick. UNC's at home against Appalachian State.
Ooh, they always get them boys some. One thing about Appalachian State and these big time schools, them boys playing. Them boys, you can't sleep on them boys up there in the mountains now.
I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the Carolina Blue there with some Tar Heels. What you gonna go with?
I am too. I'm going with UNC as well.
Georgia at home against Ball State.
Georgia.
Yeah, I don't think there's not really much to preview when it comes to college football, especially with these games being as lopsided as they are.
Yeah, that's
number 2. Number 2, Michigan against UNLV.
Yeah, Michigan.
That brings me back to that whole point. I wish that the schedules are a little bit stronger. This game gives me a little bit of hope this weekend. We're going to have somewhat of a close game. I think it'll be in a blowout. And that's number 3, Alabama, home against number 11, Texas. I'm going to take Alabama.
Ooh. I think this will be definitely a good test for Alabama. You know, with the quarterback situation they got going on, you know, it's kind of like the new look Alabama, even though, you know, of course, Nick Saban is there. That's a game right there. That's a game. That's definitely a game to think about. Oh, man. I like Alabama. Would I like to see them lose early? Nah.
Yeah.
But would I like to see? Yeah, but would I like to see Texas win and be, you know, let's see Texas do something? I will say yeah, and this will be the game. This will be the game to do something with. So I'm gonna go ahead and change it up. You went Alabama. I'm gonna go ahead and change it up. I'm gonna go Texas just to go against you a little bit.
4th ranked Florida State, home against Southern Miss.
Ooh, that's another one. Cause I don't. Is Florida State? Is this gonna be Florida State's year? You know what I mean? They got them big wide receivers. They got all them good wide receivers. Is the quarterback gonna tone it down a little bit and you know, try to play good football, or is he gonna try to be magical football? But I'm gonna go ahead and go Florida State. Who you got?
Florida State.
Okay, all right.
So far, I don't see nobody in the top games that we're even picking that I would closest is that Texas, Alabama.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody that's giving anybody any type of fit. Number 5, Ohio State, home against Youngstown State. Obviously, I'm taking my Buckeyes on that one.
Yeah, I'm taking your Buckeyes too.
And once again, I was not impressed with my Buckeyes again this weekend. 23-3 over Indiana. They said Indiana always seems to keep it closer than I want it to be.
Yeah.
6th seed USC. I am taking them. They are facing. Where did I see them at? They're home against Stanford.
Yeah. That I will go US. I will go with them. I will go USC, but I know it's kind of off topic, but are they gonna make it? Are they gonna really finish it off? You know, is their defense gonna hold up? Are they gonna be the Final Four at the end of the year? You know, that's the only goal that should be on their minds. But I'm gonna go ahead and go in USC.
Washington might be the only one in their way that's out west. Everybody else, even in your top 10. So, I mean, their path is really all based on them. Nobody can stop them as long as they win out their schedule, do what they can do. Penn State, home against Delaware.
Yeah, Penn State.
8, 9, and 10. Or 8, 9. 8th ranked Washington. Where you at? Well, we got 8th ranked Washington at home against Tulsa.
Oh, I got Washington.
And Tennessee is at home against Austin Peay.
Tennessee. One thing what happened last week, I'm not gonna lie. I was glad that Matt Rule lost. Come from the NFL, especially come from the Panthers, and then going to Nebraska. Nebraska wants to win now, and with him losing the way they did, I wouldn't say coach's fault, but they had a couple plays, they had scenarios where they could have won that game if things would have went a little bit different, from play calling or timeouts, you know what I mean? But I was honestly glad that Matt Rule lost his first game at Nebraska, leaving Carolina the way he did. Nick Bosa,
5-year, $170 million contract extension. $122.5 million of it is guaranteed. 49ers no longer have to worry about this or have this hanging over their heads this season.
They need to get that done. It's been even though Bosa he does back up what he does on that field, But they need to get that done. He needs to be training in camp. Well, not in camp, but he needs to be ready to go. This is week 1.
Yeah, well, he'll at least be able to eligible. We'll see if he plays or not. Chris Jones is the other one, Kansas City, who is still not signed. Has until the mid part of the season to sign before this year doesn't count. And we can have another holdout, so we'll see how that plays out. Let's get into the picks and our predictions. Did college football, did a top 10. I don't know if we'll do that again because it was pretty much the same. The games are so lopsided. We'll keep running and see what happens. Maybe we'll get games a little more interesting. NFL, though, gets to be a little more interesting, a little more tricky. Tomorrow night,
they will.
Detroit and Kansas City kick this off. Kansas City at home. Travis Kelce has been having some issues. Chris Jones has not signed his contract. Depending on who you talk to, leading up to all this, Kansas City was Super Bowl favorites, possible undefeated season. All these things that get thrown out there now looks like kind of get to go down the drain, at least the undefeated season. As I just don't see missing two key pieces, one on each side of the ball, at least making it where you go 20-0. But you are playing Detroit. Detroit historically is one of the worst teams in the NFL. Even without Chris Jones, I think we'll see Kelsey to what extent I'm not 100% sure. But I feel Super Bowl champions, like I said, I think all paths go through Kansas City. I'm going with Kansas City week 1.
All right. Okay. I with Kelsey with the knee, Jones holding out. It can be a big game for Detroit. If they win, it can be like, okay, this is the year that they go to the playoffs. If they lose, it's not a big downer. They playing the Super Bowl champs, So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Chiefs too, because it does go through Kansas City. I'm going with the Chiefs.
Next game on the list is out of the South. It is got your team. It's got the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Okay. Of course, I'm going with Carolina. We didn't really see too much out of Bryce Young. I feel like as far as Panthers fans, the last time we saw Bryce Young on the field, with them 2 drives and 10 points, it really was, I wouldn't say full-blown confident that he can get the job done, but it was good seeing him drive the ball and scoring a touchdown with the field goal. I'm gonna go with the Panthers, even though Falcons got some weapons. You know what I mean? We don't really know what their quarterback can do, but I'm going with the Panthers.
I'm in the same boat as you. I'm going with the Panthers. I'm curious to see what this young team is going to do. I'm going to kind of eager to see what Bryce Young, what direction he's going to take them, and what he's going to be able to do for this Panther team.
Yeah.
And how the pieces all fit around him. Obviously, I think it's going to take some tweaking throughout this season and probably the off season. But I am excited for the Panthers to see where this goes, and what pieces that they pick up on the way. I think the NFC South is on the weaker side, so I think all y'all are with young quarterbacks or transition into different quarterback situations with Mayfield and I forget who's out there at the Saints, Derek Carr or somebody out there, so both trying to kind of turn over a new leaf in their career. You got young quarterbacks in Atlanta and Carolina. I like Atlanta and Carolina situation better. You're not regurgitating old quarterbacks that have not really made it anywhere. You're starting fresh. You're starting with your future. So, Carolina Panthers. Next one on the list is next one on the list is going back north to the AFC, Cleveland and Cincinnati. I feel that Cleveland wins this division. I believe that Cleveland goes back to owning Cincinnati at home. The uncertainties with how healthy Joe Burrow is. This Cleveland team that nobody has really seen complete put together. This has been a couple years in the making. I am very, very excited to see what product we put on the field at 1 o'clock Sunday. I will be tuned in without a doubt. There will not be a blackout this weekend. The game for sure will be on. I'm taking my Cleveland Browns.
All right. I know you're a Cleveland Browns fan. Cincinnati. One thing about Cincinnati, it's kind of like, Burrow from the LSU days and coming back. He just went to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. Is it kind of like, was that their best? You know what I mean? Are they kind of like done? You know what I mean? Are they just always gonna fade out at the end? But I'm gonna go ahead and root for you one time. Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and go dog pound. Let's go Cleveland. Let's go Cleveland. I'm going with Cleveland, too.
All right. Next one on the list is out of the AFC South. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Indianapolis. I will completely admit I am not all sold and all in on this Trevor Lawrence. I keep hearing people refer to him as the Prince, this year's MVP, all these other things. I'm not all in on it. I don't see it. I still don't believe it. And with that being said, I do like Jacksonville's situation better than I like Indianapolis' situation.
Yeah.
Switching quarterbacks in Indianapolis, your running back, you finally decide you're keeping him, and he's going to be out for a few weeks, so things not looking good in Indianapolis. I'm going to take Jacksonville to go into Indianapolis and win.
I'm following your lead. I'm going Jacksonville too.
All right, next game on the list out the South. Well, not South and North, I guess. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to let you take first pick out the gate.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and, with Minnesota, you can't, the buzz now with Aaron Rodgers being gone, Dak Prescott really struggling with interceptions. Who's the best quarterback in the NFC? And a lot of people are throwing out Cousins' name out there. But the Bucs really don't got too much. They as far as Baker Mayfield, we've seen that situation down here in Carolina, and we wasn't too pleased, with that situation. And I'm going with Minnesota.
I don't know, something pulling at my co-strings here to say that Baker is going to come out. He's going to have a game.
Yeah.
And it's going to get buzzed for the first few days, and then things are going to fizzle out after a couple games. But I think game one he comes out, he puts his A game on. Buccaneers kind of turn a couple eyes, like, maybe the Buccaneers can do something with Baker Mayfield just for a week. And then we'll probably go back to the same Buccaneers team without Tom Brady. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay in Minnesota for week one. Next one, we travel to Tennessee. Well, we travel to New Orleans. Tennessee comes to the Saints to take on New Orleans. I'm going to let you pick first in this round as well.
All right. Honestly, even though the Saints are in our division, and I have watched a couple of their games this preseason, even especially with the first stringers, and they really did look good, as far as moving the ball up and down the field, the Saints really did do that. But with Tennessee, being Tennessee, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and say the Saints. Even though I don't want to say the Saints, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it honest. I'm going to go ahead and say the Saints over Tennessee.
All right. I took New Orleans to win the division, but I don't think their path of taking the division starts this weekend. I think Tennessee, I also have them taking their division, starts their path. I have Tennessee winning in New Orleans this weekend. Next one is San Francisco at the Steelers. San Francisco is who I have. I believe I have them. They're the ones that I have, coming out of the NFC. I think it's really the Saints' path to travel, or I'm sorry, the 49ers' path to travel to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, it was hot out there,
I don't think the Steelers are ready for this. I think they're still in a rebuild. I got the 49ers.
My only thing is, this is my only thing with the 49ers. The more you think about it, what's Purdy gonna do? Is he all right? Is he really? Is he really recovering? And is he really that dude? You understand what I'm saying? As far as what he did last year was good. As far as the wins that he got and leading the 49ers to the way they did, but was it a fluke or are they for real? Pittsburgh, they've been building. Pittsburgh been building. They've been looking good during the preseason. You know, Pickett, so all the wide receivers he got out there. You know, with the running back, even with a tight end, is he gonna be able to hold down the fort and win? I'm gonna go ahead and go. Oh man, I'm gonna go. I like going against you when I have the opportunity to do it, and I feel like this is one that could do it. I'm gonna go ahead and say. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh. Even though I got 49ers winning their division, but I want to see if it's for real.
Next on the list is the Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
I apologize to all those fans that live in those markets, and that's what you're stuck with watching. I can't see there being really any excitement in this game or any desire to want to watch either one of these teams. Arizona's got themselves in a whole quarterback situation.
Oh, yeah, they're in a mess over there.
Yeah, Washington, you can't even decide on your name. Now all these people that everybody claimed was offended by it wants us to go back to being the Redskins, and it's a whole thing. There's two organizations that I don't know. It just seems we just keep going in the same circles over and over. I guess I have to pick a winner out of these two.
Yeah. You got to pick one.
I guess by default I'm going to go with Washington.
I'm leaning in the same direction, you know what I mean? With how he played as far as one game last year, and Coach Rivera having his full faith in Hal and bringing Bieniemy from Kansas City. I'm gonna go Washington, but I think this may be Ron Rivera's last year. But I'm gonna go Washington.
It must be rough. Like, I know people kind of look at it similar especially before the Browns and the Bengals both got to be good. At one point in time, especially we were both like the worst teams in the NFL, and like,
yeah,
God, I feel sorry for those people. That's the only game on TV, is what they're stuck watching. But I feel like really bad. Like, you got two people from two different states, and you still don't have nothing to really watch. At least our Ohio situation, where we, both of our product of ours, we kind of screwed ourselves a lot of years. But I don't know. I just feel bad.
Yeah.
Houston and Baltimore. I don't think Houston's anywhere ready to be an actual competitive team. I don't think there's anybody out there that I don't know if I feel that they would even beat, and that's even throwing Washington and Arizona into this conversation. Baltimore, there's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and, no doubt in my mind, I'm going to go ahead and go Baltimore too.
I'm really curious to see this Baltimore team.
Yeah, just a quick question. You think Houston wins more than 3 games or 4 games? 3 games? 2 games? 3? 4? I know it's out the topic,
Houston.
but you know what I mean? How many games you think?
I'll tell you one second. I will see their actual.
Yeah, let's see that. Let's hear a schedule.
At Baltimore, no, it feels a loss. Week 2, home against Indianapolis could be a win.
Yeah, maybe. There you go. Okay.
At Jacksonville, I feel is a loss. Home against the Steelers is probably a loss. At Atlanta, depending how their young quarterback plays, that's an iffy game. Especially since they're both dome, they're both hot. So you're not really taking, and it's not like it's going to be a packed stadium, not unless this young quarterback and this team comes out, blaze of glory, and lights the field up, and they're the hottest thing by week 3 or week 4 or week 5, whatever week it is. They're not going to have that stadium filled, so you're not going to have crowd noise. You're not going to have weather. You're going to have two young quarterbacks, two young teams out there. New Orleans, I don't think that's a win. I think
they got
Saints.
gone earlier.
I think at Carolina is probably a loss. Tampa Bay is probably a loss, depending on if Baker Mayfield fell off at that point. At Cincinnati is probably a loss. Home against Arizona could be a win. At home against Jacksonville is probably a loss. Home against Denver, depending on which Denver we get, whether or not Russell Wilson's turned this around or if he's even the quarterback still. I think the Jets would be a loss. Tennessee would be a loss. Cleveland would be a loss. Tennessee would be a loss. If they do more than 3 wins, I'm best guessing 4 or 5 at the highest, and that is on best case scenarios.
Here you go, man. I agree. I'm just doing a podcast right now. I do a sports podcast every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. So it's kind of like, even though I'm at the fair, so this is something that we do every Wednesday. Here you go. All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day. Here you go. Don't go nowhere. Here you go. This is a good card. This is a good card to have, okay? All right, anything up here that you see is not a problem getting, so, stay in contact.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Y'all have a great day. And be safe. No. That's something to look into, though. So, no, not at the moment.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to mute you, but then customers came, but you know how it is when you live and have customers. So, and I didn't. Yeah, but I'm going same direction as you. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of how it plays out.
3 games. 4 games at the most. I'm saying around 2 or 3. That's where I look at it. Yeah.
And realistically, and we'll get into the rest of our picks. We still got 7 more games. We got 45 more minutes to even get there. Realistically, and this has always been a kind of a hard thing for a lot of people to do, and that's to take off their fan hat and be a critic or be bipartisan when they.
Yeah.
And so I try to do that a lot, and I feel that this year I'm maybe failing a little bit more than usual, especially since I picked Cleveland to take the North. I don't know if it's because it's my team or there's a lot of hype, a lot of possibilities, a lot of scenarios if they play out the right way could fall in our hands. I mean, say we don't get a full Joe Burrow the week 1. That's a win. We're Pittsburgh's still rebuilding. That could be a win. Tennessee, in which Tannehill shows up, could be a win. Baltimore, just because you added Odell Beckham, unless you really decide to become a throwing quarterback, that could be a win. I don't feel so confident about the San Francisco game. I feel confident about the Indianapolis game. Not so much about the Seattle game, but confident about the Arizona game. Traveling to Baltimore, not so confident. Home against Pittsburgh, feel confident. Depending on what Russell Wilson, once again, that Denver game we traveled to. The Rams, depending on what Ram team we play by the end of the year, and they've figured life out. But looking at your schedule, what do you think the Panthers do? How many wins do you think realistically do you see the Panthers getting?
All right, okay. I don't. Can you pull up the schedule for me right quick? Can you pull it up for me? If you don't mind. I know we got Atlanta, New Orleans. I know we got the Dolphins in there. I know we got the Lions in there. I know we got the Vikings. And I think that's our first, 6 games somewhere around there.
All right, week 1, obviously you got Atlanta.
Yeah, okay. Boom. All right. That's a possibility of winning. Okay. That's a possibility.
Home against the Saints.
Yeah, that's a possibility too. Hopefully they don't come out firing. Okay, that's a possibility.
At Seattle.
Man, listen. I believe Geno did a great thing last year. Honestly, they did. You know what I mean? He completed a lot of passes. He looked good, just like the Purdy situation. You know, he had. You know, is it for real? You know, is it for real? So that's in my opinion. Not trying to sound biased because I'm a Panthers fan, but that's a possibility. I'm not going to sit there and say Smith is just going. Geno Smith going to come out here and throw the ball all over us. I don't. You know, it could happen, but it's a possibility. 3-1, 3-0, 2-1. Okay, first three games, 3-0, 2-1. I think, you know, with Cook being gone, you know, their big thing was play action with Kirk Cousins. You know what I mean? So is it gonna be the good Kirk Cousins or the bad Kirk Cousins? Are they gonna be able to run the ball? But even it could be a win or a loss. I could still say 3-1 or 3-2. I mean 4-1 or 3-2. What's that? How many games is that? Well, how many games we did? 4. Okay.
4.
3-1 or 4-2. All right.
How you 4-2 in 4 games? You'd be 4.
No, I'm just saying. No,
4-0.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, I meant to say. What I really meant to say is 3-1. Yeah, 3-1. All right, 3-1 first 4 games, or 4-0. 3-1 first 4 games.
Who's your loss?
I would say if I would have to pick between them 4 games, I would have to say I would go Minnesota before I go Seattle.
All right, at Detroit.
Okay. Detroit, are they really the Detroit Lions? You know, is everybody talking about? Or are they just gonna come out? You know what I mean? Is it the same old Lions? I would say a win against the Lions, and I think the following week we got Miami.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I say loss to Miami. If Tua plays, only if Tua plays.
So I got 4-2 in the first 6 weeks. You got to bye.
Yeah.
Then you're home against Houston.
Win.
Home against Indianapolis.
Win.
At Chicago.
Chicago ain't really I mean, to be real, Chicago ain't nothing to me. Chicago, you know, people from Chicago, but they just like Indianapolis and the rest of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Panthers. They don't scare me not one bit.
Home against Dallas.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Dallas. I'm gonna be honest.
At Tennessee.
Man, Tennessee ain't nothing either. That can be a win too. That ain't no hard
At Tampa
loss.
Bay.
Win.
At New Orleans.
Since we won the first one, I'll give them this one. We lose at New Orleans.
Home against Atlanta.
Divisional games are tricky with Atlanta. That we just beat them. We just barely beat them after the last couple of years. What's after Atlanta? I don't even see Atlanta being a threat without their quarterback. You know what I mean? I just don't see Ritter doing nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and say win. We're going to beat Atlanta 2 times this year.
Home against Green Bay?
They're just in the same boat as Tennessee and the rest of them. We don't know what Love's going to do. So that ain't no hard loss. That ain't no hard, I'm going to say win there too.
At Jacksonville?
That can be tricky. I'm going to say a loss to Jacksonville.
And home against Tampa Bay.
I'll say a win against Tampa Bay.
So you got you guys going 12-5.
12-5. 12-5, somewhere around there. I am a Panther fan, and I don't want people to drag me. I don't want people to drag me because they hear me saying Panthers only losing 5 games with a rookie quarterback. You understand what I'm saying? Anything can happen, but I believe that we can win them games.
All right, here's going to be my walk.
All right, go ahead.
Where are we at? All right. I got week 1, home against Cincinnati. I got to win.
Yeah,
Week
okay.
2, at Pittsburgh. I got to win.
Okay.
Week 3, at home against Tennessee, a loss.
Oh.
Week 4, home against Baltimore, we win.
Okay.
Week 5, we got a bye. Week 6, San Francisco comes to Cleveland, we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Week 7, we win in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Week 8, we lose at Seattle. Week 9, we win at home against Arizona.
Uh-huh.
Week 10, we lose in Baltimore. Week 11,
Okay.
we win at home against Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
Week 12, we lose at Denver. It seems like no matter what, Denver owns us. Week 12, we win at home against LA. I have us winning out the rest of the games. I have us beating the Rams at LA.
Yeah.
I have us beating Jacksonville in Cleveland, Chicago in Cleveland, in Houston, home against the Jets, and then at Cincinnati for a 13-4 season.
Okay. 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 That's not. We can ride with that. That's a good assessment. I can be fair with that. I just don't think. Listen, to be honest, I don't see what the big buzz is about with Tennessee, and what was the and Seattle, man. Come on, man. I really can't sit there and believe it right now until I see it. You're gonna have to show me.
I've never been one that's been high on the list of Geno Smith, so we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I see. You got a lot of respect for him. I see. Maybe I picked wrong, but I just don't see it.
All right, next one on the list. We got Green Bay going to Chicago. I'm gonna let you go ahead and pick first.
All right. Even though I said Chicago wasn't too nothing to be scared of, I really haven't seen what Love can do. Really, we know what Fields can do. He's a great runner with the football, but his overall record, if you want to go back to his rookie season, ain't overall too good. You know what I mean? Compared to quarterbacks, But I'm gonna go ahead and see DJ Moore and Fields. I'm going to go ahead and go Fields and the Bears.
Next on the list is Denver's home against the Raiders. I think Denver, more specifically Russell Wilson and Sean Payton, come out, play nice. Things look good. I'm not sure if they're in a good place or we're going to see a good season, but I think they at least come out and play good. I think they're probably going to end up being the third best. I think I might have picked them second best in the division. No, I picked them third. No, actually flip-flopped them. I had San Diego and I flipped them. But we both have them second, third. Difference between Chargers and Denver. But Vegas, I think we all feel the same about Vegas. Jimmy can't stay healthy. That's kind of a whole crapshoot out there. I just don't see Las Vegas going into Denver and beating them. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos.
Whew. All right. Okay. My pick. I agree. I agree with the whole, Jimmy G situation, but it is week 1, so he is healthy. And I'm gonna go ahead and go Denver too. I'm gonna go Denver. I can't. It's hard to pick. It's hard to pick the Raiders right now, even though we both picked Denver. I'm gonna go Denver too.
Next on the list is Philadelphia and the Patriots. I'm going to go ahead and let you pick first.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and, even though they're the Super Bowl runner-up, they did lose a lot of their coaching staff. You know what I mean? From the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, running back coach. You know, they got a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo going on over there. But so do the Patriots, you know what I mean? And then when you think about the Patriots, you know, I can only think about Tom Brady and the success that he has, and Bill Belichick and the Patriots not having that much success after Tom Brady leaving. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Who was it?
Philadelphia, New England.
Yeah, Philadelphia. There you go, Philadelphia. I'm going Philly. Who you got?
I liked how you rambled on so long you forgot who you was even rambling on.
Yeah. I forgot who they was even playing. Yeah, I forgot who was there playing after I talked about them.
I'm picking the Philadelphia Eagles as well.
All right.
I'm not all in on the Jalen Hurts thing, but Mac Jones has not ever shown me anything. And Ezekiel Elliott, I think we're well past his prime. I think a good third down back, a good fourth and short. I just don't see him being a full-time.
All right, now take care.
I'll see you later, man.
So, guess I got the Philadelphia Eagles. Next on the list is Miami traveling to Los Angeles. I'm going to go ahead and let you take this one. And that's the Chargers.
I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm going to Chargers.
I am as well. I don't know. I'm not sold on their quarterback situation in Miami as well. I think Chargers have a decent team. I think, unfortunately for the Chargers, they're in the same division as Kansas City, and as long as you're in the same division with Kansas City, I just kind of like the Patriots all these years. Unfortunately for the Jets, Miami and Buffalo being stuck in the same division with the Jets, everybody's kind of out there in the West in the same situation. No matter how good you are, there's always going to be a team better than yours or better than you as the Kansas City Chiefs. So that's the boat Chargers sit in. The next one is the other Los Angeles team travels to Seattle. I guess we're going to get an opportunity Sunday evening to see if Geno Smith's performance last year was for real or it was just smokes and mirrors. I got Seattle winning at home.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and even though I did talk junk a little bit Seattle, I think the Rams. I mean, not the Rams. Yeah, I think their time. I think they was happy with that Super Bowl that they had, and they're still living off of it. I'm gonna go with Seattle as well. But we got to see if Geno for real, though.
Sunday night game, we got Dallas traveling to New York. Really not a better way to kind of kick off the year. Is always fun, especially being an outsider and not having a dog in a fight and watching these fights between Dallas, more specifically Dallas, Philadelphia, and New York. Washington doesn't really have that edge or that fight in them, at least not for a long time. These three teams, oh my Lord, it is fun to watch. I'm in on Dallas. I think I had Dallas going to my championship game, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the top of my head. But I think that Dallas is a serious threat of winning the division. They're a serious threat potentially making it to the Super Bowl. I got the Cowboys over the Giants.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm following right behind you, and I got the Cowboys as well.
And the Monday night game, Buffalo in New York. What is your pick?
This will be a good coming out game for Aaron Rodgers on primetime TV. You know, the Bills, you know, with the wide receiver crying, you know, is Josh Allen running the ball too much, taking too many big hits? You know, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the hard knocks. I want to see the Jets. Let's go Jets.
Well, I thought that was going to be one pick that we was going to have differently, as we got 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3 for the entire day. That would be the Tampa Bay, Minnesota game, the Tennessee, New Orleans game, and San Francisco, Pittsburgh game. It will not, I guess, be the Jets and Buffalo game because I am also going to go with the New York Jets.
All right.
I think we get the same song and dance out of Buffalo every year. I think there's a lot of bark.
Yeah.
There's no bite.
Yeah.
I think this Jets team comes out. I think this Jets team might upset my picks on the AFC side because they might take this division. I think we will see early, and we'll know for sure who's really got heart this year, especially between those two teams. And I think the Jets can do it at home.
Yeah. All right. That sounds good to me.
Talked about that. Talked about any other big news headlines that you're seeing off the top of your head?
No, not really. Besides, I know maybe Colorado talk, but Nebraska is going to beat Colorado.
What you think about that? I was going back to the Colorado thing because there was a couple things about Colorado and we never got to. I want to talk to. Deion Sanders' son throwing for 500. I won't say 510 yards.
Yeah. No pick.
Heck of a debut.
Yeah, heck of a debut.
And the completion percentage is good as well. It wasn't like he threw 60 passes, only completed 30, 40 passes for 500 yards. Very accurate. I think this is another thing when we talked about Colorado and the wins and whether or not we're a little bit over our ourselves with this. Is we're going to have more games like that out of Sanders. Sanders is to me is going to have to play this level at least until they're able to recruit more 5 stars, 4 stars. The other part of this is Hunter, the young boy that is playing both sides of the ball. I think I've heard anywhere from 130 to 150 plays. I don't know what the actual official count was. I know Deion did it. I know Deion is one of the best to ever do it. And so I know that this young gentleman has somebody in his ear that kind of knows how to game plan for this, how to prepare his body for the most part for this. But let's be honest. Do we really think that this young player can keep up on both sides of the field to be impactful enough to make a difference versus whether or not picking one side or the other to be on the ball and give you 100% on one side? And are you telling me, this is basically what I'm getting out of it, are you basically telling me that you do not have enough players on your roster or a player good enough that could not be good enough that he plays better than that person after playing both sides of the field and being worn out versus someone playing that side of the ball fresh? You understand how I'm trying to say this?
I agree. I understand. I think, honestly, my honest opinion about it, I did watch the game. You know, there was good plays on both ends of the football, offense and defense, but you can also tell how Colorado, they are a little light. You know what I mean? When I say light, a little light in the butt. You know what I mean? Especially on the offense and defensive line, because there was plays where the defensive line was physically getting pushed out the way.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to Hunter, I don't think, it was a good game one adrenaline rush. Something to see that was different that we haven't seen in a very long time since Deion doing it like that. Can it physically hold up? And my honest opinion is it's going to slow down. You know what I mean? Even though he's young, I think over a long period of season, I don't think he can handle. Not think he can handle, but it's going to be difficult for him to play 100 snaps on offense and 100 snaps on defense and go week after week. It was something great to see in week one, but I want to see him if he can hold up. But I don't think it won't be as many snaps as week one. Going forward, he may come out. Yeah.
Well, a couple things. One, I agree. I just can't see that there not be a Jimmy, we'll just use Jimmy as a name, that's good enough to play ball, let's just say offense for argument's sake, that could not play offense at a higher level than Hunter is playing the ball when he's exerting all his energy on defense and not getting any rest. You're going to tell me that either side of the ball, there's not one player on your team that could play that position as good, if not better, being fully rest, not required to play on both sides of the ball. Instead, you got to have him on both sides of the ball, exerted from energy, and is not giving you 100% on either side either side of the field that he's playing. There's no way. And then also the physicality of it. We also got to take into consideration when Deion Sanders did this. One, we can all, regardless of our stance on global warming or anything else, that is warmer out period. That from when Deion did it, and I think it's I don't think it's got so much to do with global warming. I think it's got more to do with us cutting all the trees down, and there's just not as much shade, and the weather patterns change and everything else. I think that we're running higher temperatures than we grew up. Right now, like this week was 90 degrees. Real feels 100 degrees here in Ohio. Even growing up, like if you even got into the 90s, like you were setting world records for us. Now, 90s and 100s is part of the norm for the summertime, more so than it's not. So I understand, and even living in North Carolina for 20-something years, it's not always been as hot as it's been. I think Dolphins, things have changed.
The only thing I got Dolphins.
So, we're asking of players now to do more physically on the field with temperatures that are higher than when they were when Deion did it, with players that are more athletic. I'm not going to say athletes in the days were athletic, but the way that we chisel our players, we never had a LeBron growing up. We never had some of these players growing up in these sports where they're able to invest their body, invest their time more into being in physical shape. And so now you got someone like Hunter that's got to play in weather that's hotter than normal. And then play against other athletes that are in better shape and the better science and better supplements. I just can't see it lasting. I think this is a recipe for disaster. There's no way that you'll ever convince me that there's not one single player on that team that could play either side of the ball as good, if not better, with full rest of energy, where he does not have to do both sides of the ball, where he can focus on one side or the other, that he could be a serious Heisman contender on one side of the ball or the other, or he at least give you 100% on one side or the other and not have to be worried about giving you the best he can on both sides. He can give you 100 on one side or the other.
Yeah, I agree. It is, it was something good to see, but it really is difficult to maintain and do just because it is 2023 and athletes are a little bit more conditioned than they were back then. They go through a lot more than what I would say we used to go to as far as just growing up.
As soon as because somebody throws out, well, he's in better shape. Well, that's all. To me, all athletes are in better shape. I'm not gonna say athletes in the day weren't in good shape. Those athletes in the day were those big, strong ox our athletes today are more chiseled, and more of core and more, of that kind of athleticism versus just these big, manly, bare guys. So the physicality of the sport, that's why they keep changing and adding safety to the helmets and pads, because they are running faster, because they are hitting harder. And not that we're making bigger men, we're training differently. We're letting the science and the medicine help us evolve into better athletes, which just makes it that much harder for someone like Hunter that's trying to play both sides of the ball.
We got some socks, $10. Okay, that works. $10 too. Yeah.
We're going to get worked on, getting wrapped up here in a second. While he's working up, himself.
No,
don't forget, tomorrow night you guys can catch
a little bit of this.
Safety to Success. It's a race show that gears towards the safety and local racing. Make sure you guys check that out, 8 o'clock, right here on the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget, Monday nights, you got the 110 Nation Race Chat Live exclusive show that gives an opportunity for Chris and myself and other 110 hosts should be able to sit down and interview local drivers, track promoters, crew members. We just had Josh Dickens on last week. We had Isaiah Glad the week before. So I've had an opportunity to sit down. Landon Lewis the week before that. So I'm looking forward to this week's show. Of course, Tuesday nights you got Race Chat Live. Get you guys caught up on all the latest going on in racing. 8 o'clock right here on the 110 Nation Sports Radio Network. Don't forget, you also go check us out at www.the110nationsportsradionetwork.com for all the latest shows, videos, blogs, show schedules, marketing partners, everything going on here at the 110 Nation. It also has a link. You guys, the website is www.the110nationsportsradionetwork.com. On there has a tab to all the links to all the podcasts that we're on. So if you listen to your podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music and Audibles, YouTube, Blog Talk Radio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Podchasers, however you catch the show, all you do is click on that link, just follow it when it takes you over there, or if you just go to those platforms, search in the search box, the 110 Nation, it'll pull us up. You guys can follow us there to keep up with our shows. Don't forget, you guys can like us on Facebook, the 110 Nation Sports. You can like us on Facebook, at 110 Nation, or follow us on Facebook. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to our 110 Nation YouTube channel, the 110 Nation Sports.
Yep.
Hey, nice work. You need me to do anything? No.
We'll give Mario here in a second in between his customers to
I'm good.
stuff.
I'm good now. Yeah, I'm good now.
All right,
you can follow us at the fair. We'll be at the Cumberland County Fair until Sunday. You can like us on Facebook and Instagram at Carolina Sports Plus. You can shop with us at CarolinaSportsPlus.com. We got a lot of good things going on. Shout out to Angel Munoz. It's fight week this week. He's going to be fighting September the 9th, which is Saturday in Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's currently 3-0 with 3 knockouts. We're going for the number 4. So if you're in the South Carolina area, please come out and support and come check us out.
Definitely looking forward to keeping up with him, seeing how this next boxing goes.
Yeah, man, I can't be there either, man. It's kind of bad, kind of yeah. I kind of upset about it, but I got a job to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to this weekend, catching some NFL Week 1. This weekend period, football galore. We all know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be stuck in front of us. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to sitting back down next Wednesday and recapping Week 1 and see how far we was off and how close we really were. Make sure you guys follow him on Facebook or like him on Facebook, Carolina Sports Plus, and make sure you guys follow him on Twitter as well. Anything else you want to throw out there before we get out of here for the night?
No. Ready to watch some good NFL football this weekend, and see y'all next week.
Y'all have a great night. Until next time.